I think we still have tremendous opportunity to continue to grow our ICE vehicles. We have 8 new SUVs coming out next year that are going to either be all new or refreshed.
The automotive world has been hit with a thunderclap. Just when everyone thought the internal combustion engine was being quietly buried beneath a tidal wave of electric promises, General Motors has done the unthinkable. A stunning declaration from GM's CEO has reignited a war that everyone assumed was long over.
We had a constraint with modules. We have addressed that. We're on track for the first month, and by the middle of the year, that should be well behind us.
In a move that has blindsided the global auto industry, GM has unleashed a beast, a 10.35-liter V8 engine that churns out over 1,000 horsepower. And it runs entirely on gasoline. No batteries, no charging cables, no whisper-quiet motors, just raw, explosive power. But the question remains, what does GM know that no one else does? And could this old-school monster actually shake the foundations of an industry that's already bet everything on electric? For the past decade, the automotive industry has been locked into a one-way street toward electrification. Gasoline cars were painted as obsolete, polluting relics of the past, unworthy of a cleaner future. Governments around the world began declaring bans on new combustion engines. Automakers shuttered factories, poured billions into battery production, and promised fully electric lineups by the 2030s. This shift wasn't just encouraged, it was forced. Investors, lawmakers, and environmental groups pushed relentlessly for the all-electric transformation. GM joined that charge proudly, unveiling its Ultium battery platform and pledging to sell only electric vehicles by 2035. It launched models like the Cadillac Lyriq, the Chevrolet Blazer EV, and the GMC Sierra EV Denali, while building charging networks across America in partnership with major travel hubs. But beneath all that progress, a more complicated truth was emerging. The electric revolution, while ambitious, has run into serious headwinds. Charging infrastructure remains patchy and unreliable across many regions. Range anxiety still haunts long-distance travelers. And the mining of lithium, cobalt, and nickel, the lifeblood of EV batteries, has triggered ethical and environmental backlash. Costs remain high, and despite tax breaks and subsidies, the average EV is still financially out of reach for most households. Affordability, access, and practicality are becoming the Achilles heel of this electric dream. And this is where GM makes its shocking counter-move. Instead of doubling down on batteries, it reached back into its engineering DNA and pulled out something no one saw coming. A monster gas-powered engine that defies everything the industry has been preaching. But make no mistake, this isn't nostalgia, it's strategy. In late 2021, GM quietly released the Z632/1000, a 10.35-liter naturally aspirated V8 crate engine. And now, that engine has become more than just a machine. It's a symbol, perhaps even a weapon, in a new kind of automotive war. There's no hybrid system, no turbocharger, no electric boost, just pure mechanical might. Over 1,000 horsepower, nearly 900 pound-feet of torque, and it runs on regular 93-octane pump gas. At the heart of this beast lies a secret from the drag racing world: symmetrical port architecture. Developed in the 1980s for racing, it allows each of the 8 cylinders to receive perfectly balanced airflow. Traditional V8s struggle with uneven distribution, but this system ensures smoother combustion, better performance, and longer life. GM didn't cut corners either. A cast iron block for durability, aluminum heads for heat management, and forged pistons and crankshaft built to survive brutal redlines approaching 7,000 RPM. It's not just powerful, it's engineered to endure. But why release it now, in an era obsessed with going green? The answer lies in economics and emotion. For all the talk about EVs, GM's biggest profits still come from gasoline-powered trucks and SUVs. Their customer base, especially in rural areas and performance markets, isn't ready to give up the roar of combustion. By reviving this engine, GM is making two brilliant moves: dominating the high-performance crate engine market and sending a loud message that it's not abandoning the soul of driving. They're not replacing emotion with silence. They're reigniting it. Electric vehicles may be fast, but to many enthusiasts, they feel sterile. No roar, no shifting gears, no visceral connection. It's speed without soul. GM understands that, and this new V8 is a love letter to purists. The kind of people who believe cars should make your heart race, not just your battery charge. The Z632 isn't mass-produced, at least not yet. It's sold mainly to racers, tuners, and collectors. But whispers suggest a production car may soon follow, possibly a special edition Camaro. If that happens, it could become the most powerful, naturally aspirated, street-legal American car ever built. A final shot from the old guard, and a legend in the making. Of course, critics are already calling it irresponsible. How can GM justify releasing a 1,000-horsepower gas engine in the middle of a climate crisis? But GM isn't naive. The engine qualifies under low-volume exemptions in emissions laws. It's built for enthusiasts, not commuters. And strategically, GM's massive EV investments give it enough credibility to play both sides: electric by day, combustion by night. To understand this move, you have to understand GM's history. This company doesn't just follow trends, it creates them. In 1912, GM revolutionized driving with the first electric starter. In the 1950s and 60s, it gave the world the Pontiac GTO and the Corvette, cars that defined American performance. The new Z632 is simply another chapter in that legacy. The small block V8 changed everything in the 50s. The LS series ruled the 2000s. Now, the Z632 carries that torch into a conflicted future. Not to challenge progress, but to remind the world that performance still matters, that sound matters, that emotion matters. The EV future is inevitable, but it won't satisfy everyone. GM knows that, so instead of betting on one path, it's playing the full table. And that decision is already rippling across the industry. Other automakers now face a tough question: stay loyal to the all-electric vision or follow GM's bold hybrid approach of heart and horsepower. Ford still has its Mustang legacy. Toyota is experimenting with hybrids and hydrogen. But GM just changed the conversation. This engine forces everyone to reconsider what performance truly means in a world obsessed with electrons. Because GM's move isn't just emotional, it's strategic. It buys time. It keeps loyalists engaged. It fills a niche EVs can't touch. And most importantly, it proves that the internal combustion engine isn't dead. It's just been sleeping. Whether this is a new blueprint or the last hurrah, one thing's certain: GM didn't build this engine by accident. It built it because it believes that the story of driving isn't over. The road ahead may be electric, but not every journey will be silent. Now, the rest of the industry has a choice: ignore it or answer back. What do you think? Has GM just sparked a new rebellion against the EV future? Or is this the final roar of a dying era? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because more untold stories from the world of innovation, power, and rebellion are on the way. This is Chapters Discovery, and we'll see you on the next ride.